So, we are winding down this moon-ruled Yemanja-filled moon day of infinite waters, heading straight into the winds of Ogun's other wife. I love it. Let's talk about it.
Attention, star seeds. Attention, light workers. Attention, root workers. Attention, conjure doctors. Attention, nature-based faith practitioners. Attention, spiritualists. Attention, diviners. Attention, prophets. Attention, the spiritually eclectic. Attention for those seeking the road less traveled. This is time-sensitive cosmic information, so you might want to catch this. This is time-sensitive cosmic information that you can use in your prayers, manifestations, and other spirit works. Beam up now via this video or the audio link in this video's description box to get this on-the-fly esoteric wisdom. Beaming up now.
Ashe emojubatu Olodumare Bobo Egungun Ara Orun Bobo Orisha, for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekale if you are catching this in the evening time. Ekaro if you're catching this in the early morning's rise. As always, I am iiiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo, winding down your moon-ruled, Yemanja venerated Moon Day. It is November 25th, 2024, and the day is vibing on a 17-8, and that's infinite waters, as 8 is the number of infinity, the number of Obatala, and the digit that has ruled this entire year. Did 2024 just fly by, or is it just me? Somebody let me know. Hit me up in the comments. And this is all going down on your 10th moon day of autumn equinox and the first of Sag season. And the moon tonight is waning, and that's an ideal time to banish, to create balance, and all those types of things. So with all these infinite waters flowing, we're still reminded to keep a balance as tonight's moon is waning in the 7th house of Libra. So with that in mind, just remember that balance is key in all things. So let me go ahead on and close this part of the forecast out so that my 6 a.m. listeners aren't talking too much about yesterday. If you're listening at the 9 o'clock hour, you got 2 hours and some change to work out all this energy before the clock strikes 12. Yemanja passes that time clock to Ogun, and we get into some windy energies of Ogun's windy wife. And those of us that are about that Orisha life know that that is none other than Aya. Iya me. Ashe. And this is 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And you are listening to your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. cosmic weather forecast. Beam up. Oh, come on. It ain't Mercury Retrograde already. Did you enjoy the water wisdom here at Mother Blue Hues? Well, then follow me into Tuesday's greenery, the clearing of the Peridot at www.poeticallymuse.org/Peridot. That's POETICALLYMUSED.org/PERIDOTPOULTICE. Bet you won't follow me there tomorrow. Ashe. And we are back. So, In case you are just now joining us, I am iiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. cosmic weather forecast. And it's Tuesday, November 26, 2024, and the day is vibing on an 18-9. And that's three nines in a row, with 18 being 9 by 2, boiling down to a 9 as 9 number 3. And that is all adding up to Oya energy. So when you got Oya energy on Mars and Ogun's energies of action, you really are making some transformative moves. Because it's one thing to pray for it, it's another thing to do rituals and manifesting and doing all of that. But the real ritual is putting your actions into what you pray for. Because we all know faith without work is dead. So let all y'all put that transformative energy into all of your actions today as you take hold of the tools that Ogun already put in your hand. Ashe. And this is all going down on your 10th Tuesday of autumn equinox and the first of Sag season. And like last night, the moon is still waning in the 7th house of Libra, and that banishes imbalance. So get rid of those imbalances that are keeping you from aiming your highest, doing the best you can. And with this coming on Mars energy, Mars being about action, I'm going to say when it comes to balancing that Libra scale, also balance stagnation. Hmm. Stagnation is the opposite of action. And sometimes our emotions, especially when we're reflecting too much on the past, can stagnate us from doing the things that we need to do in the now in order to build tomorrow. Just something to think about. We are still in the season of the Nile in the Kemetic way of the stars. And as a matter of fact, today is the last day of the Nile in the Kemetic way of the stars. And on the November 27th, we will be shifting into the Kemetic sign of Osiris. And in the 12 figures of African spirituality, we are still in the season of the Child of the Word until December 3rd. And in the mainstream Western astrology system, we are right in the middle of Sagittarius season's first decan. So if you were born between November 22nd and December 1st, you are 100% Sagittarius, no cuddle, your Jupiter dope. And if November 26th is your solar return, then happy solar return. May the ancestors, Olodumare and Orishas bless you with many more, filled with Bobo Ire. And Bobo Ire just means many blessings. Okay, but if you were born on November 26th, then here's what we got for that. Zodiac draw snitching, I mean. If you were born on November 26th, you are kind, you're generous, you're upright, you're capable of great self-sacrifice. Be careful with that. You are a favorite amongst your friends, and you're dearly loved by your family. You have a strong magnetic personality and many warm friends. Okay, all right. All right, other 11 zodiac houses, haterade is not alkaline. So make sure that you are showing all the Sag babies in your life some love as they turn up in their season. Because you know good and darn well that when your zodiac season rolls around, you're going to want the rest of the world to turn up with you. And you should, because all life is worth celebrating. So sow yourself some seeds of good dharma and put that love out for those Sagittarius babies in your life as they come as walking reminders to teach us all to aim higher. And while you're at it, take a look at your placements of House 9 Jupiter and Sagittarius in your natal chart. And that's how you'll learn all about that Sagittarius energy in you. And if you need help understanding that, then of course, the Mothership does have its own spiritual mentorship and guidance hotline. So give me a dial at 314-200-0368. I'll be right back with your planetary retrograde report. This is iiYansaje Muse, and you are listening to your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. cosmic weather forecast on 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio for the road less traveled. Beam up. Green vegetations, plant magic, Iba Ogun, Iba Onile, Iba Ochoosi, heart chakra, jazz, voices of the fathers, Mars. Welcome to Tuesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. All right, and we are back. So, today is day of the last Mercury retrograde of 2024. So let's buckle down, babies. Mercury deals with HU energy, and that deals with trickster energy, communications, and things of that matter, bringing up those inner crossroads externally. And this is going to affect you, Gemini and Virgo babies, more than the other 10 houses because this is your ruling planet. And we have gone in today, November 26th, and we'll be coming right out on December 15th. But here's the thing, this Mercury retrograde came in Sagittarius energy during Sagittarius season. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be a little heated. I'm here for it. And Mercury retrograde may cause hiccups in technology. You might want to go on a talking fast, try to speak less, because during Mercury retrograde, a lot of words can get confused, and this is bound to cause misunderstandings and mishaps. Okay, this is not a good time for starting new business contracts, marriages, or relationships. And speaking of relationships, many estranged relationships will make their way back into your life. Now, when Mercury retrograde goes and, brings back all those people, they come for three reasons. Reason one, the universe is throwing you a pop quiz to see if you've learned the lessons you needed to learn the last time that person was in your life, or whether or not you need a repeat course. These are typically toxic people, narcissistic people that just want to show up and reattach themselves to you because energetically you're on another level. And that's something to pay attention to with this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius because it's about aiming your arrows high. So you will be tested by people who try to keep your energy low. They'll end up in a universal repeat course. Reason number two is that a person could return to your life just long enough to create the closure that's needed for both parties to move on with their lives in peace. That does not necessarily mean that the moving on in peace means back in each other's lives. Mm-mm. Sometimes people will come back into your life just so you can forgive them or you can ask them for forgiveness, and some kind of peace and healing can be made so that both parties can move forward and more peacefully. Okay, that's reason number two. Reason number three is that both parties have grown in their time apart, and it creates the space for both parties to be a beneficial part of each other's lives. So when Mercury retrograde brings these past people back into your life, there's three reasons, not one. Okay. You also want to keep an eye on travel delays and miscommunications and also things being revealed. So I would say go ahead and make an offering to SU, those of you that are about that EFI life, so that this Mercury retrograde can produce what it needs to produce in your life, reveal what needs to be revealed, and that you can go through smooth sailing. Ashe, because I've learned to work with retrograde energy, so I don't really, freak out when planets go into retrograde, because with the energies aligned with them, they can be very, very beneficial when you know what to do with them. Ashe. All right. We also still have Neptune in retrograde that went in on July 2nd of this year and will be coming out on December 7th. And this retrograde is in Pisces. So this is going to affect you Pisces babies more than the other 11 houses because Neptune is one, your ruling planet. Number two, Neptune is retrograding in its own house, Pisces. And this is going to intensify your dreams. It's going to stimulate your intuition. And it's going to create situations where you have to put your actions behind your convictions. But that's all key to living in the 5D age. And we are officially in the age of Aquarius. Ashe. Thirdly, we still have Chiron still in retrograde, and Chiron is the planet of the wounded healer, and that's like a physically comet. Chiron was a comet that became a planet. So even just its coming into being a planet is all about turning pain into purpose. And so Chiron's retrograde will bring up your deepest wounds so that you can find a deeper purpose for them to heal others, or you can see places where you need a deeper space of healing. And whichever one that is, embrace it for what it is. And this Chiron retrograde came in with some heat in the fixed fire of Leo season on July 26th and will be coming out on December 29th. Ashe. All right, we are still in Uranus retrograde, and Uranus retrograde began on September 1st and will be coming out on January 30th of 2025. And Uranus is retrograding in the planet of in the house of Taurus, and that's all about that love and money. And this hits the Aquarius babies harder than the other 11 houses because this is one of two of your ruling planets. Now, when Uranus comes into retrograde, it's the ultimate test of faith because Uranus shakes things up, brings about sudden changes, instabilities, and things of that nature, but it's all around you demonstrating, living what it is you say you believe. And those of us that have really been living this divine life and not just preaching it, wearing it, and all of that, we got some real divine blessings coming in. And so that Mercury retrograde is going to come and test that with bringing these estranged people back into your life while you're on your divine come up. Ashe. All right. And last but not least, we have Jupiter in retrograde that went in on October 9th. We will be coming out, excuse me, on February 4th of 2025. And this is coming. This retrograde is in the house of Gemini, and that's the house of duality. So, on one side of the balance scale, or one side of the duality, Jupiter's retrograde is bringing about positive changes and teaming with Uranus. And on the other side of that balance, it's bringing in karma for people that, been playing on the wrong side of the crossroad. Because Jupiter's energy, when direct, is expansive. And when it goes into retrograde, it contracts. So, whatever energy you've been throwing out there, Jupiter's retrograde is the magnet that attracts it back. And this is going to hit you, Sagittarius and Pisces, babies, more than the other 10 houses because these are your ruling planets. And start getting ready because on December 6th, we will be going into Mars retrograde. But I'll talk more about that as we get closer to the date. As always, you can always look at your placements of these planets in your natal chart so you can see where these retrogrades more deeply affect you. And if you need some help understanding that, always, the Mothership has its own membership and guidance hotline. So give me a buzz and we can get this squared away. Ashe, ashe. Here is your retrograde report, and I will be right back with your Tuesdaily Tarot read for the Divine Masculine Collective. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and this is the forecast on Radio for the Road Less Traveled 222.9. Before sight, Before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. All right, and we are back. So if you are seeing this part of tonight's forecast or hearing it over the mothership's airwaves, then you are tapped into divine algorithm, and this is your message. Now, here we have the Ten of Pentacles showing, but divine masculines, the energy that came up here is frustration, and under the bottom of the deck, passion. Okay, so there's some kind of very, very serious frustration with you going on concerning a money matter. And the spirits are just calling you to kind of let go because everything that glitters ain't gold. On the surface of things, it looks like you're losing out on a whole 10 of Pentacles, but then there's a 4 of Pentacles that shows up underneath. Now, what I'm getting here is a crossroad between apple orchard and a candy apple. Because the thing about the number fours is that fours are a very, very solid foundation. And this abundance looked really good on the surface, but it's fleeting. This brings the room for growth. So you may have to take a pay cut to build a more solid financial portfolio, divine masculines. The energy that I'm getting is that all money ain't good money. And what's causing the frustrations with the Ten of Pentacles is that you're misguiding and misdirecting your energy, possibly, and putting finance over morals, putting finance over love, putting finance over divinity. And that's what's causing your frustrations. And I'm feeling the fixation with passion because I'm feeling like you've possibly got the bad end of the stick when it came to a deal, or you were duped out of something you were told you were going to get or gain. But the divine has your 10 of Pentacles, but you have to grow it from the 4. Okay? And I do see peace coming for this in the end, but it's up to you to choose the right side of the crossroad. So when I flip the next card up, we got the 5 of Cups. Didn't I say that? You're frustrated with passions because you turned down love for money and didn't even get the money. When the money came with real love, it just looked like less in the beginning. And because it looked like less in the beginning, you may have turned this down. And that's what led to this regarding this. And why? Under the bottom of the deck, we have the Master of the Sword. Okay, So with the King of Swords energy, because that's what this is, the Master of the Sword is the King of Swords energy. So with the King of Swords showing up at the bottom of the deck, Divine Masculines, you may have already cut some people off that weren't good for your spirit, but it also affected your pockets. And if that is the case with you, know that you made the right decision so that you can now grow your wealth organically, that is stress and karmic debt free. Because anything that you build on lies, deceit, false feelings, and all of that, that's a house of cards on sinking sand doomed to blow down. I'm going to go one more underneath here. See, we got the Seven of Scepters or the Seven of Wands underneath here. So, there was a lot of deception and confusion here, and you experienced some major disruptions because of it. But this frustration and all this passion can be evolved, I'll say, if you are willing to take all of your frustrations and all of your fixated passions toward this situation and turn it over to divinity so that the Most High can turn all that frustration, sadness, and pain into something that you can use. And from there, your energetic currency can be redirected to real abundance. But you got to make the choice first. And that part is solely on you. There's my general message. Should you need a personal read, then by all means, dial the number on the screen. Or you can hit up my pin site link where you can book a live video read, or you can get one pre recorded with a 24-hour turnaround. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and this is your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. cosmic weather forecast on radio for the road less traveled. 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. Using the tools already in your hand is stepping out on faith in practical action. Ogun. The Mars Collection from the Mothership Mystic Boutiq. All proceeds go to 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio for the road less traveled. Beam up. Thank you for joining me for this forecast. I certainly hope that you gained some things that will help you have a divinely action-packed or y'all transforming Ogun blessed Tools Day. If you're listening at the 9 o'clock hour, then stay tuned for my Moon Nightly vision of what love looks like, brought to you by the Divine Mothers of Song. If you're listening at the 6 a.m. hour, then stay tuned for the rising Bimbe to Ogun before we get to the Smooth Groove Brothers of Song. Either way, remember, the sky's big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. This is 222.9 The Mothership, Internet Radio for the road less traveled. Beam up. Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.